We got Anthony? Oh, my God, ladies and gentlemen. What perfect timing. This guy has no opinions whatsoever. I'm surprised I even have him on the show. Never has anything to say. He's such a negative guinea. He's one of my favorite people on the planet. And I really enjoy his appearances on when he does Gutfeld show and shit. He sits there quietly like an assassin and lets it fly. One of the most honest people on the planet. And again, they have a bust of him at Twitter. He's get kicked. There he is. Anthony Cumia. What is going on? What is that? Your houseboy in the back? Oh no, it's your girlfriend.
My houseboy.
I couldn't see her. I could just see. I thought I tuned into Jerry Sandusky's kitchen for a minute. That's Anthony's girlfriend, right? Is it?
Yeah, that's Missy in the back. She's doing something, like they should be in the kitchen.
Oh my God. Comey is like he's like Elizabeth Warren. He's always looking back at the good times. That is so hilarious. She's back there doing that. And here's the thing I love about Comey. We Skype with a few people, right? Nobody knows how to do it ever. Anthony's been doing radio forever. He knows how to do all this shit. He's sitting there waiting like he's supposed to. I have Johnny Sack on the show, and he's got his nephews and nieces trying to build a headset for him as we're interviewing him. But
that's hilarious.
And Bo Deedle.
You gotta know how to use this garbage.
So, Ant, what's the big? What do you think? First of all, give me your feelings on Elizabeth Warren and reparations for gay people because they were tax-wise they couldn't file jointly.
This is any of the reparations garbage is hilarious. Elizabeth Warren is one of the funniest candidates to watch. The pandering, the shameless pandering that goes on with these idiots. I cannot wait for the debate. They're going to be falling over each other to try to appease some minority group, no matter what it is. Warren is funny, but Gillibrand was even funnier during the Pride week or month. Are we still in Pride month?
It's Juneteenth, they call it now.
Oh, right.
I don't know if that's for blacks or gays or transgender. It's Juneteenth for black people. Yeah, for black people.
That's when you pick up a gay teen? What is Juneteenth? I
don't know. Ask the girl behind you. Listen, yeah. Juneteenth. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm fucking too much coffee.
Elizabeth Warren is terrible. Gillibrand, you see her at the gay bar? She's got a shot. It looked like they literally held up a cue card and said, "Just yell gay rights." She's there dancing. There's some gay guys in the back, and she goes, "Gay rights!" Like they don't know how to do this at all. Trump completely exposed what phonies these pieces of shit are. Just phonies, and they're trying to be active on social media, but they don't know how to do it. They can't be honest for a second.
What are you talking about? Elizabeth Warren looked very natural opening that beer as her husband walked by on a dolly behind them.
I'm going to get me a beer. Like, I'm going to, boy, they're going to love me, the Trump people. And they don't know how to do it. Trump figured out in his 70s, he knew how to use social media better than anyone.
I know.
And they don't realize you can't imitate that. The only reason Trump is good at it is because every time he goes on, he's Trump. He's not trying to be a politician or someone else. They are incapable of being honest and telling the truth. So their lies, the more you see Trump, the more it exposes them for the bullshit artists that they are.
How about when they all lined up and kissed Sharpton's? That's the closest that Elizabeth Warren or who else? Who's the other female that was in it? The closest Elizabeth Warren's coming. They lined up to kiss Sharpton's ring. This is who Beto O'Rourke gets in there, They're like, are you going to sign the reparations pledge? And they walk up with their chest out. You're damn right I am.
Oh, yeah, and they're all, woo! They just go crazy. And it's so dishonest. Like I said, Trump blowing this whole thing out of the water. You think for a second, if God forbid any one of those clowns got elected, the next day, there would be no talk about reparations. They'd start all their usual bullshit liberal programs. But reparations and we're going to fix the border, that all goes to shit while they try to figure out a way to make even more money and get their cronies and pals in.
Are you saying they're not sincere about this? These are just to get votes? These are just empty promises? Is that what you're saying, Ant?
I'm going out on a limb saying this. because I know it's not what a lot of people believe. Of course it is. It's such bullshit. And I'll say it over and over again. Trump exposed them. He exposed the news. Whether you love Trump or hate him,
That's what I
you
say.
cannot deny that this guy ripped the cover off all this shit. And you can't go back to this guy. And I believe that we will. How do you go back to that after you got the guy going, Sleepy Joe? He's a sleepy guy.
Where the fuck is He makes Jeb Bush look like a meth addict. This fucking guy, he gives a speech. It's like he's talking at a cancer benefit. Just a solemn. And let me ask you another question. Why every time he gives a press conference, are there 40% of the crowd is 12-year-old girls? Has anybody questioned this? The fuck you can't get in there unless your hair smells like pert. They're
on his guest list.
They're still bringing young girls in. And when he goes, yeah, your brothers better look out for you. That's just code for you got a nice ass. And they all applaud. Uncle Joe wants to touch Jan's titties.
It's just Joe. It's Joe being Joe. Like the guy gets a pass for literally molesting children in front of their parents. What a gimmick.
Yeah, but he tried to clear that up by saying, I work with segregationists. Some are good people, which I was actually on his side on that one. But that's not the point. If it was a Republican who ever said that, they'd be drummed out of office. But
absolutely.
That's the one thing that Joe Biden's done in the last few months that I actually like. He was in his driveway wherever he goes, apologize for what? It was kind of refreshing.
Yeah, they don't understand. He's one of these old codgers. He could say whatever he wants, but when you try to make him apologize for something he doesn't think he should apologize for, that old codger comes through again. He can't play himself off as one of these AOC type liberal douchebags.
Right.
So because he's still an old school politician. So he doesn't want to apologize. Did you see this latest thing where Bowling Green College, they want to pull, or they're going to pull off the theater name, which is the Lillian Gish Theater. She was an actress back in the silent film days.
Why, in a yearbook picture in 1868, is she in blackface or something? Or?
It's not. You know what? I wish it was that sensible.
What did she do? Yeast infection? What got her in trouble?
In the year of our Lord, 1915. We're talking over 100 years ago.
What did she do?
She was in the film Birth of a Nation. The film about, where the Klan rides in and saves the day kind of a thing.
Yes.
And because she was in that movie 102 or 5 years ago, they're pulling her name off the theater on the college campus because some of the kids are a little triggered by it.
Well, in fairness to the school, she was terrible. I've seen that film 11 times, and I'll tell you, I put that up there with Goodfellas, then Birth of a Nation, then I get Godfather. No, I've actually never seen it.
But that's it. And then, you get guys in the, what's his name, Bird, he was actually in the Klan.
He not only was in the Klan, he was the Cyclops, whatever the term is. Something Cyclops.
The Grand Master Flash. I don't know what. Yeah, but I love their priorities when it comes to tearing down American history and trying to save the kids from being triggered.
Unfucking believable.
Yeah.
It's going to a place where I didn't think it could go. And, let's talk about the other. Iran was the big story. Were you surprised, first of all, that as far as, let's go to immigration, the raids were going to happen, and then Pelosi called. She was sitting on the toilet and called Trump and said, please wait he said, I'll give you 2. I think this is brilliant on Trump's part. He threw it back in her court. If you guys can get together with the Republicans, you've been stonewalling on this shit, fix it in 2 weeks. Otherwise, these fucking people are... But were you surprised that Trump called it off?
I would be...
Disappointed.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I mean, here's my hat. I wear here, my Border Patrol.
I thought that was a Nick and Artie hat. I couldn't read the...
Some of the great people at the Border Patrol sent me some swag. So bless them and the job they're doing down there.
What do you mean? They're separating families, Anthony.
Ripping children from the arms of their parents. I have not seen one still photo, a Zapruder film type fucking shaky video of any child literally being ripped from their parents' arms. But that's what they want to say.
I say this about the Dems. They hate you ripping an arm from a baby from a woman's arms, but they don't mind if you rip it from her pussy.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
It could be a year and a half old. Grab it by the feet and pull it out.
You can take it out in pieces if you're taking it out by the pussy.
They sell the pieces like a chop shop in Brooklyn, like a stolen fucking Mazda.
At the border, they're just cutting up the babies and shoving them back through the slats in the wall. Would they have a problem with if we did it that way? I don't know. Yeah, so I was a little surprised at Trump, but when you know Trump as well as we do, because we are students of Donald Trump. You understand? No, that's one of his moves. He goes right up to the line, pulls it back, and then goes, "Oh, let's see what you do now." So you can't bitch about what I'm not doing or doing.
No, everything is a deal, and that's how he treats issues like this. He looks at it as a negotiation. He punted it right back into and you're right. And he keeps. It's like with stand-up. What I try to do on stage, I try to keep people off balance. You don't know what's coming next. You've seen enough of me, but that's what Trump does. The media. He'll put out a statement. The media will go crazy, the mainstream media, fucking excoriate him, and then, he'll do this to them. Now, half of them are calling him a dove. Another half are calling him he's too hawkish. Remember, they said he was going to have us in a World War III in his first term. They said that before he was even elected.
Yeah, they said that about Reagan, too,
Yes,
I did, but...
I actually played this. I don't know if you can hear this.
We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
Can you remember Reagan? We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
Let's get to so the Iranian thing he called off too. The bombing thing.
And Schumer doesn't know what to do with himself. Do you know damn well if he dropped one bomb on Iran, they would be screaming about I told you he's looking for a war. He's this. And then he decides not to, and they're like, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's backing down. It doesn't matter what he does. I don't know who doesn't understand this at this point.
I know.
They don't care what he does. Whatever he does will be the worst fucking thing ever because they're trying to win an election.
Well, not only did he change his mind at the last second, I love his logic for it. He said, I asked, how many people be killed? This hits them right where they breathe. Because anytime we're in a war and there's any collateral damage, of 3 Iraqis are killed with collateral damage, we're the most evil superpower on the planet. So he broke it right down to that. He hit them right where they fucking breathe. They said 150 people, and it's an unmanned drone or plane or kite. He doesn't even know what the fuck called it. But he says 150, and he goes, and nobody, he goes, it was disproportionate, which I agree with. I said 1 American life. 150 Iranians equal 1 American life. So I think it was.
It is. That's what the drones are for. That's why they don't have people in them, so they could get shot down and not make this big international incident. And then you got people like that fucking Maxine Waters. Wait
a minute. I haven't seen her for a month. Where are you hanging out?
She popped up and talked about why are we flying drones over other people's countries? It's like, does this fucking idiot know how countries have acted in the past century? We spy on each other. We look at shit. We have machines that she was taking the Iranian side on the whole thing because, again, better that than ever support Donald Trump in anything he's doing.
Well, you know what? In that case, she just hates America. Maxine hates this country, and so do all the Dems who are. I'm watching the news, and I'm listening to these Dems. They're out there saying what they're going to do, reparations, all this shit, that Trump is a danger, he's unfit. And meanwhile, at the bottom of the screen, it's going by greatest economy and how many black unemployment record. It's going to look so silly. And then when they start attacking each other, wait till the debates start this week. The Dems they're going to rip each other limb from limb. I don't know who's going to be left standing. Fucking, maybe Sleepy Joe. But I go, he's got the hottest economy ever. He did all this with his hoax on his back. And now, do you agree with me on this? He has to do what he did in Orlando last week. Every time he gives a rally speech now, he has to bring up the investigation that's coming, that William Barr is doing. You have to keep bringing up what they tried to do. Don't you think he has to keep reminding people?
I think so. First of all, it riles the base up like crazy, and it's a great look. Him standing in front of 20,000 plus people. There's a chant every 5 minutes. Lock her up, and it's fantastic. And he does have to keep letting people know. Look, once he's reelected, I think he's going to go forward with these investigations. I love it. I love the Orlando rally was fantastic. When he came out and said, we got to make America great again and keep America great. And we're going to, I want applause. And I'm sitting there going, this is the president. He's doing an applause contest with 20,000 people. And then none of these clowns, the Democrats, can get 20 people together to agree on anything.
And they admit to it. As far as the crowd, when 150,000 people request tickets to an event, I think you and I learned this on election night, 2016. When Hillary's supposed to walk all over him. But when 150,000, that's like Rolling Stones numbers.
Yeah.
This fucking guy's a rock star. And I put on CNN the next day, and even they had some of their unbiased people on saying there's nobody on the left right now that can do that. So.
Yeah, no one can even come close. And then even in a state and a city like New York, where Trump just doesn't really go because it's useless. There's so many libs, and there's a lib terrible state. You got out of it, thank God. For
hell
you.
Yeah, boy.
Just terrible. But this guy, Trump could go to Madison Square Garden and sell that place out like Billy Joel. I honestly think even in New York City, Madison Square Garden would be packed to see Donald Trump. It's just a phenomenon.
Yeah, but
there's no politician, a president over 2 years into his term, is still packing arenas all over the country. It's unprecedented. No one has seen this. No one will see it again. We will look back at this time in history as one of the most prosperous for this country. And I honestly believe Trump will be looked at through nostalgic eyes as one of the greatest presidents we ever had. I really believe that.
Well, depending on who writes history, and if we're still around, I think there's a civil war coming before that.
It looks bad.
I know you're well armed. But like you said, Trump couldn't do Madison Square Garden because 3 minutes into his speech, he'd get hit in the chest with a full Heineken. And, not a milkshake. They'd throw booze at him because he's never had a drink. But, no, you're exactly right. In my lifetime, I mean, and I'm taking shit online, people. When do you become a bootlicker? And you're supposed you're punching down what the fuck? I'm punching.
I heard that, yeah.
Punching down? Some guy wrote an article about my special in The Observer, which is a left-leaning paper in England, and that's saying a lot. How some of my shit was punching down because some of it was Islamic, I'm Islamophobe, and really, you have neighborhoods you can't walk into in London, no-go zones, but you still think the English are the bullies? Punching down? What are you fucking talking about?
Maybe he doesn't know what's funny because he can't tell if people are laughing when their faces have been burned by acid. See, it's very hard to tell if someone's really laughing when they're burnt by fucking acid. That's a thing. That's a thing in the UK. Throwing acid in people's faces.
And that comes in a far distant second to stabbing people.
Yes, stabbing people. Longshanks is rolling in his grave. He just wants to throw another poofter out the window, and the whole fucking country is gone bullshit.
Before I let you go, Ant, and you're great as usual. Now, what's the latest on this broad that looks like Diane Keating wearing a fucking cab driver's hat? This E.J. Carroll, who I wouldn't fuck with my dad's dick. She's saying that Trump raped her at what is it? Bergdorf? What's the store? Goodman's.
Bergdorf, Goodman's, or Bamberger's, or a burger joint.
Yeah.
Yes. She says, and conveniently again, they always come out during a nomination or an election. You never hear them. They come out of the woodwork when somebody is trying to attain an office of some sort, whether it's the Supreme Court or Donald Trump literally had just announced, we all knew he was going to, but just announced that he was going to run for re-election. And she comes out of the woodwork saying he was trying to fuck her in a dressing
room.
It's so bizarre, such bullshit. And of course, the Democrats, especially the feminists, how many times does this have to happen before you impeach and throw him in jail?
I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say, let's take a look at Clinton. I think it's 11.
Yeah.
And what's next? You're going to be telling me Mitch McConnell tried to finger pop somebody at J.C. Penney in 1958. I mean, for the love of fucking God. Now, can't Trump sue this bitch? I mean, you can just come right out and if somebody did that to you, I mean, can't...
Yeah. At some point, though, this lawsuit is more attention for these people than they get in. Like, she's done already. She had her shit, and people are already starting to back down on her dumbass story because we're not buying it anymore.
She's selling a book.
Yeah, no shit.
She's selling a book. Shit. I'm coming out with...
I should have put that in. I should have put that in fucking permanently suspended. My book. Donald Trump tried to fuck me while I was doing an air conditioning job at the Trump fucking marina.
Let's go to the footage. Let's go to the videotape.
Yeah, no shit.
Hey, Ant, I can't thank you enough, man. One of my favorite people on the planet, brother. And like I said, I love the fact that we tune in and you're all ready, and you got your girlfriend behind you doing the dishes.
I'm old school, Nick. No, now that we've done this, also we could pop this up anytime. I love doing your show, Nick. You're one of my favorite guys. Never mind comics or shows or anything. And the show I've been watching, it looks and sounds great. You're doing an amazing job. That Georgia fucking air has really revitalized you.
Look at me. Look at the fucking. Look at the
gorgeous.
Look at the color on my face.
I love it.
I went out to get the mail this weekend, and this is what I got. I'm gonna have a forehead like John McCain. I'm gonna have. Anyways, Ant, you are the best. Yeah, throw this out. Put this all over your media or whatever.
Absolutely.
People think we compete for shit. No, I'm on the same team. So I love you, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Take care, man.
Thanks,
Have
Ant.
a good one.
All right. Bye.